Welcome everyone to Thrashcast. This is going to be episode 96. Today
Wow.
it's just Jim and I. Yeah, just Jim and I. We're going as a twosome today, which is fine with us. And we have a good one for you. Now, we did the whole Anthrax month, which was fun for the month of May. But we actually forgot one album, which surprising. Shame on me for forgetting this. But we decided to talk about Joey Belladonna's first solo record, Belladonna, from 1995. Lots of good stuff on it. So we figured it'd be a good time to talk about it and, you know, talk about all the shit that went down for him, what happened to him, like getting kicked out of Anthrax and where he went with his solo career. So this will be a fun talk. Yeah. And it's also Father's Day. We're recording this on Father's Day, so happy Father's Day to everyone out there who has kids. Hope your wife and kids treat you well today. It's all important, you know. So before we start, just a quick heads up on the pod and the website. You can find our pod on our website at www.horrormetalsounds.com. Again, if you go to YouTube, you don't even just type in Thrashcast. All the videos come up. You'll be able to find everything we've done. What, two and a half years now?
Yeah.
96 episodes. Well, this will be 96, but you can find us on Rumble. You can find us on Spotify. You can find us on TikTok. So we're around. We're around. It's not when we're available to find us. So it's all good. It's all good. So we're gonna start with a couple quick things. Questions, of course. We've got it down to 2 questions to start the pod. And this one's going to be good because I know there's a lot of dirt about the split between Anthrax and Joey, and I want to talk about it because, you know, and I see online there's always a discourse about, you know, when he got kicked out of the band and people are saying, why did they kick him out? And it's all over stupid shit when you really think about it. But the first question, so Jim, I'm going to jump this right at you. Did you think Anthrax did Joey dirty?
Yeah. But Anthrax does like almost everybody dirty when you think about it. So like, you know, Dan Lilker, you know, I mean, I love, I love the lineup of the band. So the classic lineup for me, you know, Dan would have just been on the first album. So, you know, essentially. So for me, you know, putting aside Fistful of Metal, which was in my mind, it's a great underrated debut, but it's not among Anthrax purists. It's kind of not their favorite. And there's good reason for it. But, you know, from what I understood, Neil wasn't happy with him, so got him kind of removed from that situation and got him fired, or they got rid of him. And then the same thing kind of happened to Neil, but I mean, that was more along the lines of trying to kind of go forward with what product they were going to put out, which was going to be more of a heavy metal, thrash metal product. I mean, look at the second album was just, you know, the wheels were off. So, and then, I mean, it was a shock, I think, to everybody when you watch some of the stuff you can see on YouTube, like there's the documentaries and that. I mean, Joey just got kind of left. They were building it up, like in the documentaries I see, like, you know, you've got Scotty talking about him, like, well, he just, you know, during the whole I'm the Man, the one with Chuck D and that Public Enemy. You know, he didn't really participate in that, and he didn't really want to do it. And he was, you know, when they were on tour, he was being less and less included. And so I think that's just, for me, I think it's just a crock, a little bit of a crock. I think it was more along the lines, they wanted to make a change. They wanted to do something different. And so he just got kind of the short end of the stick to sort of, you know, in some sort. So, you know, I think, and then, I mean, the poor guy, they just left him and he just went off. And I mean, geez, he was mowing lawns for Christ's sake. So, you know, like, you know, he's a guy who's, you know, playing Monsters of Rock tours and selling millions of seats and millions of records. And then all of a sudden, you know, and then, you know, I mean, the other part of it too is, I mean, we all know it's pretty much Scott's band. So, you know,
Charlie too.
Sorry. And Charlie. Yeah.
Charlie. Yeah. Both.
Yeah. It's them two guys kind of run the whole show. So it's almost kind of like the Lars and James situation in Metallica. very similar. So, you know, in Megadeth, there's only one.
I know, it's just Dave's way or no way.
You have that control factor, and it kind of, the other guys just kind of, I mean, I think Frankie's, you know, I think they've got some say, but they don't have the say like them two. So it's kind of sad. And I think they did themselves. I liked Sound of White Noise, and I know this is going to be another question, but anything after Sound of White Noise for the Bush era albums, you might be able to take a few songs off of each and make a really good album. But like Stomp 442, I just, these would be albums I never really returned to. And I think the only reason why I returned to Sound of White Noise is I am a Bush fan. You know, I really like him. But I like him with his own band. So, you know, like, so when it comes down to it, I think they did him a disservice, and I think they did themselves a disservice, you know. So
yeah, I agree that they both did disservice to him and the band.
But you know what, Ken? It was kind of the sort of the symptom of the time too, because you think Iron Maiden did the same thing, kind of.
Yep.
Judas Priest did it. You know, like you have these bands where Motley Crue did it. I mean, if we want to go, you know, they got rid of Vince Neil, and then John Corabi, who I think is an amazing singer and probably a better fit for the band now because he can sing. You know, you just can't get rid of your frontman like that. There's singer, and then there's frontman, and then it's combined. So like, you know, Aerosmith without Steven Tyler, Lemmy, not in, you know, Motorhead without Lemmy. You've got, and in this case, you got Joey, who was not only a great singer in my mind, but also a great frontman as well. I mean, I thought he fit the bill perfectly.
You're right. All these bands you mentioned, not the experiment didn't last.
Yeah,
everyone came back. I mean, the original vocals all came back.
Yeah,
after a time, like, you know, Bruce was a few years. I think even Rob Halford was more than a few years.
Yeah,
and even Joey. I mean, he didn't come back until 2005 when they did that one reunion, which won't go anywhere after that. But we'll talk about that too. But yeah, I agree with you. I think they did do him dirty. There's a lot of weird stuff going on at that time because I think the thing about Scott, I like him as a musician. Yeah. I never understood why he had this idea in his head that he didn't want Joey singing his lyrics because he was going through a personal shit with his wife. He was getting a divorce, and he was upset that he didn't. So it's almost like he was putting the blame on Joey for all the goofy, you know, the Bermuda shorts and all that, and then you're blaming him for what the band decided.
Yeah.
So I always felt that he got the short end of the stick. They really fucked him over in that regards. Because I've read a lot about how Scott was feeling. Okay, yeah, I get it. You're going through a divorce, but you're basically transporting your anger onto someone that is just a singer in the band.
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me. I never understood it. So you're saying he was responsible for the Bermuda shorts? I doubt that. I don't think that was what happened. But I also read some articles where even Frankie was getting tired of Joey. I'm like, what, Frankie? Why?
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of weird things that happened to Joey, which I think was unfair to him, in my mind.
Yeah.
So they do the serious album Persistence, right? So you do this album where it's really serious and it's considered a landmark album.
Yeah.
You still turf him. It's like, okay, so what do you want from the guy? What is he supposed to do? He sings. I just never understood that the whole psychosis about, well, we want to change singers because we don't think he fits our sound. And what sound are you talking about? It got weird. And I think, they did do him dirty in my mind because he's a really, really nice guy. And when I started talking to him later on, I enjoyed our talks. Like, I'd send him emails and we chat, and he's a really, really nice guy. And he's really down to earth. And I remember when I picked up his third solo album, 03, he signed it for me and everything. And he was really happy that I reached out to him and bought it. And I was like, what a nice guy. Like, why do the nice guys get shit on in this kind of stuff? You know, I never.
Well, it's interesting. It's interesting because I would say Anthrax was at the height of their popularity right at Persistence of Time.
Yeah.
And yeah, it carried over with Sound of White Noise because it was commercially a success because it came out right when metal was at the apex of metal and before sort of the grunge years, so to speak, before that started happening. And I think they had great momentum going into it. I think that was a big part of it too. They got a big push from the record company, and then the next album though was a total it got released and then it was like pretty much just left. And then as they went on with that and then realized that okay, maybe we need to kind of pull it back our identity a bit. I don't know, but I agree. I think it's kind of when Bruce left Iron Maiden, it wasn't at the height of their he left right after Fear of the Dark. So you had kind of and that was considered, I like the album and the album prior to it, For No Prayer for the Dying. I thought they were pretty good albums, but you could see that there was kind of a change happening and he wanted to do his solo thing, which was pretty successful. I mean, Tattooed Millionaire, the first album,
I love that
probably
album.
Not my favorite of his. And he's put out so many good albums. But then I think also too, I mean, Joey did his solo thing, but I think his solo thing was more of a necessity because he wasn't part of Anthrax anymore. I think a lot of bands and frontmen or other members don't really realize that you can have a side project and still be part of the band. Like, Bruce put out an album last 2 years ago, and Iron Maiden keeps putting out albums and are touring. So he toured a solo tour, and then he's doing that. So I just think it's pretty funny. That's all. That there's not a one way to do it. So.
Well, the difference with Joey is I don't think he wanted to do a solo record. He did it because, like you said, it was out of necessity. He needed to do that because he wasn't in Anthrax.
Yeah.
Which makes it even worse for him. That they kick him out, and then, well, what does he do now? Like you said, mowing lawns, and I know that he started some kind of a horse corralling company with his wife Crystal. Krista, sorry, her name's Krista, where they were corralling horses for a living. That's what he was living off his money for a while. And doing
really?
Yeah, that's what he was doing before, well, I guess trying to put out his first solo record at the same time. So it's like, that's a fall from grace. Like, that's shameful, man. Like, you're in a big band and then you're not.
Yeah.
And you're mowing lawns and you're corralling horses.
Yeah.
Well, that's not great. So of course they did him dirty. It's a shame. It's a shame. But, and we'll get into it. This album, we'll talk about what happened in this album and stuff.
Yeah.
So the second question, the artwork, it's not.
Oh, I like it.
I like it too. It's simple. It kind of, I guess, refers to his roots.
Yeah.
Background. What do you think of it?
Oh, I love it. I think it's cool. It's really metal in my mind. I think it's really neat. I like it. And, I mean, it's got a great play on, for a first record to come out of Anthrax, one of their biggest hits, Indians. I think it just matches with that, but it is his background. So I think it's pretty genius to put that out. And I think it's pretty cool. I like it.
Jeff Dickinger is the art credited illustrator on it. I think it's all right. I like it. I like it too. It's not the most creative thing, but you're right. It does show his identity as a person. It makes the most sense, right?
And where it's a solo album, it's totally based around him, so that's good.
Yeah, exactly. It's based around his name. Obviously, it's his band. So of course, he's going to call it Belladonna. But yeah, I think it's pretty decent. I'm pretty happy. But he's always kept that theme though in his work. There's even a song called "Engine" on this album, which we'll get to. So I mean, it's been his thing, and even his in more recent years, the Chief Bigway band that he has, where it's basically cover songs that he does. So I mean, yeah, it's something that I guess is part of his identity, and it should be,
Yeah,
it should be part of his identity. I like it too. I think it's pretty solid. I think it would be okay on a T-shirt. It would have been okay. I've never actually seen one on the T-shirt, but it is what it is.
Yeah,
it is what it is. So as a career though, like he's had 3 solo records, and we both have Spells of Fear. Yeah, which is probably the one that most people dislike the most.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. I got the actual cover, and it's all right. I don't really care for this as much either.
Yeah, me neither.
It came out like in 1998. It has Stet Howland on drums, which is a pretty decent drummer. Um, Beyond that, I don't really have much to say about it because I think the production's really, really bad. And it
Yeah.
doesn't sound that great with some of the music. And then he did '03, which was never released, but this was in demo stage, and he actually self-released this with Matt Zuber, which I like this album. This was like somewhat of a return to the first album. So the sound is pretty decent. And he's also drumming on this too, which is pretty interesting. So it's like a two-man project. So Matt did all the guitars and the bass, and then he did the vocals and the drumming. That's
Yeah.
kind of cool. So he's had an interesting career overall. I mean, coming back to Anthrax is kind of the big thing for him. I mean, I know through interviews he's never wanted to leave Anthrax. And I heard, like in more recent times, somebody will ask him about that. He keeps saying, I never wanted to leave in the first place. I don't know why they took me. It's kind of funny because he's even saying it while he's in the band. So the band must be aware of what he's saying.
Yeah.
I guess maybe they don't care, or at this point in time, like, what's the point of fighting over, like, why fight over it? You're all grown adults. You're probably on the back end of your career now, and maybe you might have a record or two more, and that might be it. Everyone's
I think it's just a matter of just you got three guys who don't talk about it. Well, one guy is kind of more along the lines of a bit of a hired gun there. So you got the other three guys, and then you don't have they're just sitting there kind of. I think if it had worked out with Bush, they would have been probably happier, but I think they need Joey. They needed Joey back. I mean, you can say, everybody can say, oh, I love Sound of White Noise, or I love the ensuing albums from that. But, Joey is the voice of Anthrax, and there's no debating that. So, yeah.
Absolutely. You're right. Yeah. You're totally right. Well, I know that both Charlie and Frankie were the ones that contacted Joey to come back, and obviously he never wanted to leave the band in the first place. So he came back quickly, and the last two albums are great, and as you know, we already discussed the new song, so we're waiting for the new album to come out, and we're all excited about that. So,
and they're constantly on tour. I think they're over in Japan, and they're doing big shows, and I think they're doing really well for attendance. It seems to be, and then we saw them in March in Canada. And they put on, they kind of blew Megadeth off the stage. I thought they did really well. And they're, I got to be honest, I think they're really turning it around now. So if the second single is going to be super, super as good as the first one, I think this album's really, I'm looking forward to it. I've already pre-ordered the album.
Nice.
And, just waiting for it. But I think it's great. I mean, I'm looking at the tour, and you're using the album cover as part of the backdrops. So that's kind of neat. So,
and they started playing the new song live now. So, which is great that they're actually getting out there and playing it, and getting people into it. So that's awesome.
So it's pretty cool. I think it's the right time. I think everybody's been patiently waiting. So we're ready to go. And I think generally the reviews, I think 99% of the reviews I read were really good, and then you have the one person who doesn't like it, but that's fine. Everybody has a personal opinion. So I liked it. You liked it. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Most
of my friends liked it. Everyone that I know that
same here,
pretty much liked it. I've never heard. I was like, I like it. There's always that one in the bunch that's like, well, it's boring. It's meh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because they want to go back to Among the Living, and you're not going to go back to Among the Living. I mean,
no, it's like Metallica fans. It's like, only the first four albums, everything else is irrelevant. Well, okay, well, maybe to you, but not to some.
But it's funny. I think they really got a good thing going, and I think I'm so happy they have their Joey's back, and I'm glad that we can listen. It was great seeing them live. I mean, they looked like they were having fun. That's how I felt.
Yeah.
And that's how they made it. They made the crowd feel. That's how they made me feel. I was like, oh man, this band is like having fun out there. So.
Oh yeah, at the London show, people were really into it. I was into it. I was totally into it. But even Jason was totally into it. Yeah, I know he was having a good time. It was great.
Yeah.
We had a great time. So I'm happy I saw it. I won't be at the Iron Maiden show this summer, but I just didn't want to pay the ticket price to go see. I don't know, it's too much for me. No offense.
Well,
I
I
like
know it's
movies,
expensive,
but not the price.
and right now you're probably going to be so far back. Well, the outdoor ones they have, you're so far back. At least in Toronto, I think it's indoor, isn't it? In Toronto?
No, yeah,
Yeah,
I think it is indoors. You're right.
yeah, which is good
But
because I'd rather an indoor show. I mean,
yeah,
I just I like it being dark. I don't like it being, Anthrax playing when it's like I don't know, sunny and 30 degrees out.
yeah, I'm like yourself. Yeah, I could see that. It's
I
a bit
like the
annoying.
lights and everything that goes along with it. So
True. All right, so let's talk about this album since we've
yep,
kind of built it up. The solo debut on Mausoleum Records, which was a pretty, I guess at the time was a pretty good label. Um, I think Mausoleum was associated with BMG Records at the time.
yes,
So it's like I guess and also the album was produced by Alex Perilous, he's a pretty good producer. I know he's worked with Anthrax in the past,
hmm.
so there's a bit of familiarity with bringing people that you know into the band. So we'll start with that first song, which was Blunt Man, which I like this song quite a bit. What's your
Hmm.
thoughts on this one, Jim?
Yeah, I think this is where Persistence of Time kind of continues for me.
Yeah,
And I think that there's only a couple songs on this album that are a little bit different for
yeah,
me,
yeah,
but I actually I'll be honest, this album. So you have Sound of White Noise, you have this album. This album to me is more classic Anthrax for me.
yes, I agree. Yes,
Sound of White Noise, I love because I love the cover they did of Cowboy Song, and for a different reason. So it's a
yeah,
nostalgia thing as well. I mean, I didn't get this when it came out. I still don't have a copy of it because it was kind of low key. But I think that this for full on Anthrax fans, if there's a lot of I mean, the heavier Anthrax fans definitely know about this stuff and probably already have it, but like yourself. But I think for the Anthrax fans out there that they should really check this out and look to pick it up because starting off with Blunt Man, I mean, it's a great drum track. The vocals are just very Anthraxy. He does a
yep,
great job. It's got a spoken kind of word part to it, and
yeah. I like that part.
the background singing is really, really good, strong on this album as well.
Yep.
So yeah, you're starting right off with something that could have came right off of, and this album has a little bit of a darker feel to it throughout. So it could have came right. Many of the songs could have been on the Persistence of Time.
Well, this is the irony though, that one of the reasons why they wanted to get rid of him was because they didn't like the goofy style.
Yeah,
But the irony is this album is equally as nasty and mean. Like
yeah,
even the vocal range here is great. Like it's got like the classic Joey sound, but you could tell he's got like a meaner edge to some of the songs.
mm-hmm.
You can hear it. So I find it funny that it's kind of rich that they're saying this, but yet this album equally rivals Sound of White Noise without any issue in my mind.
Yeah,
So it's kind of funny. The one thing I will say though about this, for me, like the song, like he's got I mean, obviously a lot of the songs we're going to discuss here are his kind of take on how he's feeling about being dumped by the band, for sure.
mm-hmm.
He's not shy about that with the lyrics. So there's no fantasy, there's no like thrashing mad here. It's all about fuck you. I don't like what you did to me, and this is how I'm feeling, which is fine.
Yeah,
Which is fine for a solo record, in my mind. But Blunt Man's pretty. Yeah, you're right. It's got that Anthrax vibe. It gets right to the point. It's a driving number from the start, and I love that part when he says, you know why they call you the Blunt Man? And the guy goes, no, you know why. I think you do. I just love that. Like he really interjects that little bit of energy with that into the song.
yeah.
It's great, and the drumming is fantastic. The drummer here, what's his name? I think that's his name, Josh something. Josh Andrews. He's that. Scott Schroeder. He's actually pretty good. Pretty good.
Yeah.
I mean, Darren Scott's on guitar, and he's all right. He's not a bad guitarist. Although I will say, as we go along, this album was demoed originally with Paul Crook on guitar.
Right.
It's funny, and I don't understand it why Paul didn't actually play on the album. Now, Paul, is, as you know, is associated with Anthrax for all through the 90s. He was Dan Spitz's guitar tech. And eventually they brought him in on the Anthrax side to play all the solos. They never made him an actual member, but they brought him in. So I thought it was kind of funny that he was actually working with Joey here as well. So it's kind of weird how it's almost cannibalistic. Like, I'm going to use him, we're going to use him, and it's still in the Anthrax family. It's just weird. I find it weird. But yeah. So the guitarist here is all right. One thing I'm going to say as we go along is that the solos aren't super great. That's the one, I guess, part of the album that I don't like, is I don't think the leads are as good as, say, like, why couldn't you bring in someone like a Dan Spitz even? If Dan played on this album would be fucking killer. Even Paul, if Paul played on this album, it would be killer. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to say this right now. If anyone who's into Anthrax, and if you're not aware, they have 2 albums that came out. They're all just demos of Artifacts 1 and Artifacts 2, which are technically this album. And it's actually on the album is the recording of with Paul Crook on guitar. Go listen to those. They sound way better. They actually sound way better. So I'm thinking, like, Paul would have been such a better guitar player here, but it is what it is. All right, so let's go on to the second song, Power Trip. What's your thoughts on this one?
Yeah, I think it's got a cool intro. I like his high vocals on this song, and it's got kind of a tribal feel to it. So, and you're thinking of the titles of the songs, Blunt Man, Power Trip, Rob You Blind. You can tell he's venting. Like perfection, two-faced, down and out. He's got telling kind of a bit of a story here. So, but I think it's a catchy song, and I love the yell at the end of it. Like it's not really a scream; it's more of a yell. So, but yeah, it's got a really good tribal beat to it, and again, very Anthraxy in my mind. I think it's pretty good. It's not as thrashy as maybe the next one, but I think it's a great song.
Yeah, and the lyrics are the best part of it. Like he's saying, like, shut your mouth, shut your freaking mouth. It's like, and he's calling people hypocrites. So I mean, obviously, he's referring to Anthrax. He's referring to the band. Obviously, he's getting it off his chest that they let him go. And you're right. That ending is the best part. Where he's like, shut your mouth, and he just shouts it. It's like, oh, this is great. This is so damn good. I think his vocals are really good here. I mean, he tempers them a little bit, like he reaches the high notes, but he adds a little bit of an edge to it, which I think makes it kind of unique, because he didn't really do that when he was in Anthrax. He didn't get that edgier part, like he kept that out. But here you get it, and the song was originally written by Joey and Paul Crook. So obviously, So Paul, as we go along, you'll know that Paul pretty much is the co-writer of all these songs. Darren Scott has a couple co-writing credits, but it's basically Joey and Paul who wrote all the music. But I think this is a great song too. I totally like Power Trip. And now we'll get to Rob You Blind, which is probably the heavier song. What do you think?
Yeah, I love this song. Nice. Yeah, this is thrashy. I mean, this is total thrash song. And it's like, it's kind of nice because although Blunt Man was pretty thrashy too, it's more along the lines. So this would be probably just as heavy, if not heavier, than most of Sound of White Noise. So it's pretty thrashy. It kind of goes back to more of a traditional thrash chug. I like the chug intro. And this one, actually, I do call out. It's a pretty good guitar solo on this one, but I agree with your statement that overall on this album, there is a couple of guitar kind of driven tracks, but there isn't really. This is probably one of 2 maybe standout solos. The rest are just kind of mixed in there. But yeah, I really like this song. I mean, this could have been a great opener as well. And I think it's more. I kind of get the feeling when I listen to this song that it's in your face to Anthrax that, okay, you guys, maybe they were thinking that Joey's vocals weren't suited for the heaviness of thrash metal. Well, I think he proves them wrong on this song.
Oh, absolutely. I think the whole album.
Exactly. Yeah.
The entire album, he proved them wrong. I think he was. I have this feeling at times. The one thing I'll say about this album is that the way he harmonizes the vocals, like whoa, the ahs and the oohs. He does a little bit too much of that, but I think in my mind he's doing it to say, "Hey guys, I can still sing." That's one of my interpretations of some of the songs, because I'm going, okay, you could cut that back, Joe. You don't have to go that. Like, we get it, we understand it, but I think he's trying to make a point. He's telling his bandmates that, well, fuck you guys, you shouldn't have done this to me, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But this has a really good chorus. I like the chorus.
Oh, big time! Yeah, very catchy song.
Yeah, it's one of the. You're right. It's one of the more catchier songs on the album.
Yeah.
And again, it's Joey and Paul Crook were the other co-writers of the song, which is interesting. Now, this one coming up, Perfection, track number 4, is interesting. It has some interesting bass on it. What do you think of it?
Oh, I love it. It's one of my favorite songs on the album.
Oh, yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. I think it's fast. It's got a great flow. It's got a great chug with it. So it's not predictable, but at least it's like, for me, who wants my thrash metal to sound sort of like thrash metal, this definitely is it. I mean, I love this song. It's probably, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 that I absolutely are standout tracks for me, and this is the first one. I love the last song, and so far all the songs have been pretty good, but I think he definitely hit perfection on perfection. I really like it. I think it's a great song. It's nice and fast, and I just love the flow of it. It just it's really cool.
Yeah, the lyrics are funny because it's almost like what he's saying is that I'm on my way to perfection. You know, I'm going out to do what I need to do, and it's going to make me good. So it's like, again, I find the songs, they're all kind of, he's telling his bandmates that, you guys, fuck you. I'm here. I'm good, and I'm going on. But I like it. I agree with you. I think that it's a really good bass track too. I love the bass on I love the bass on this song. It's and
really there's some great bass throughout this this album. Like we're going to talk about it on number 9, which has a bluesy vibe, has a killer bass, but we'll talk about that. But oh man, there's some great bass on here, so that's really, really good, because that's what makes a great thrash song.
You know what? None of these musicians that he's played with really went on to careers. This is like their only thing. I think the guitarist Darren Scott's been in a couple other bands, but this is pretty much it for this lineup. It's these guys, and so it's interesting. I just wish they would have. I just think, from my mind, if they would have been able to go out and got a really good guitarist like a Dan Spitz, maybe if they could have got him to play on it, almost like what Bruce did with his solo career when they brought in Adrian Smith.
I know who you mean. Yeah,
Adrian Smith. Yeah, I think that was great. I thought it just made his sound that much better.
And Yannick Years he used as well, and he's and I love that. That's a great comparison. Like, sometimes I think this album didn't take off because obviously it didn't get the push. I mean, it was, on a lesser label compared to what was Anthrax on Island, which was
Island Megaforce.
Yeah, Megaforce. So they were getting, and they obviously wouldn't touch anything from Belladonna, because just out of respect for Anthrax, like, we're going to bring him on, and then what we're going to do is this. That would be cool, though.
Scott would have flipped out.
Oh yeah.
He would have fucking lost.
He would have cried big time. So.
Yeah, of course he would cry.
So, but I think you're right, and I think maybe a key part would be like a brand name guitarist to some degree. I think if Spitz came back for this, because he's such a technically good guitarist, I think he would have raised the bar that much better and would have given it more. When I listen to this, I want to hear the continuation of Anthrax, but I also want to hear something different, because I want to hear why Joey, what Joey brought to the band, and you hear that in this album, and I think that's
absolutely
key to it. Yeah,
absolutely, I agree with you. And then even reading some reviews and comments online, most people have the same opinion. It's like, well, this guy is a bona fide vocalist, so
big time,
let him go for what? And no offense to what's his name from Armored Saint.
No, Bush, great. Yeah, Bush,
I like Bush, but I don't think he was. In my mind, he was never comfortable in this band. I never thought it worked. It wasn't the right fit, even though they tried to make it a fit.
For me, I liked him, but I didn't. I think the proof was in the releases that followed. I think they were riding the momentum. If Stomp 4042 came out, maybe that would have been just as kind of popular, because they were riding the momentum so much off of Persistence of Time that when this new album hit, it was right in the meat of when album sales were a big part of everything. You know, I remember the record or the stores here, Sam the Record Man, and that all had massive displays. And the record company really pushed the fact, new lead singer, and everybody went out and bought a copy. Because back then, you didn't have YouTube, Apple, iTunes, whatever.
No, you didn't. That's
so
right.
you had to buy the album or watched it on Much Music or MTV. So, but I love Bush. I love their Armored Saints' latest album that just came out like a month and a half ago. Is amazing.
I heard it.
But it's it's more traditional, and that's where his strength is. Anthrax has to be thrash metal, has to be.
Yeah, that's where it came from. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Totally agree.
You can't change now.
No, it doesn't work. They tried that change and it didn't work, obviously, right? That's why they went back to him. They realized, we made a mistake. We got to bring him back to the band.
Yeah.
So track 5, Two-Face. This is another really good song. What do you think of this?
Oh, it's one of my favorites. So this is another. It's like a 1-2 punch here. This heavy guitar riff intro is actually really good, and I wish they'd do more of that on this album. But his vocals, so his melodic side of his vocals, really showcase on this song. It's a heavy song as well, and I tend to gravitate. And the next song is going to be a good one to talk about because, I really gravitate towards the heavier songs on this album.
Yeah, same here. Same.
I really want it to be like, and I want the Anthrax guys, I wonder if they listened to it and they went, like thinking, I mean, nobody would admit they do anything wrong. So I know I wouldn't. I'd be like, we're better, whatever. But still, in the back of your mind, you're thinking, wow, some of these songs are actually, this is another really highlighted song on this album.
You know what's funny though, Jim? I almost thought, and I know they won't do this, that they would throw the guy a bone. He comes back to the band. Let him sing one of these songs.
Yeah, they would.
I know it'll never happen. I know they would never do it, but I would love to hear them play one of these songs live. I'd just be curious.
Oh yeah,
just to hear how
with, like you got with the guitarists they have with Scotty and
John.
You could really rip this apart.
Yeah,
and a drummer, you got Charlie, you got Frankie. This thing could be, some of these songs could probably be dusted off and become really big thrash anthem hits,
That's what I think, but I know they will never.
Egos.
Well, egos, and then they'd have to admit they were wrong, right?
Yeah.
And I don't think the band is. I've never heard anyone in the band admit they were wrong for getting rid of them.
No.
So I mean, especially Scott.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No.
But yeah, Two-Face is great. This is like I wrote down in my notes, like there's a lot of Anthrax vibes in the song.
Big time.
And it's got a really, really good chorus. And I love the lyrics. Like it's like you're Two-Face like a bad penny. You lied to me. I just love that. It's so great. And then before that solo starts, he has that one little snarl, and then the solo starts. Like he never did that in Anthrax. I don't recall him ever throwing that little snarl in there before like you break into the solo. But it's great here. I think he's really, really getting into it by this song. You could tell. Like, you guys, you fucking bastards.
Yeah.
It's so great. And again, it's Joey co-wrote it with Paul Crook, so it's an interesting combination that he's working with the guitar tech from Dan Spitz guitar tech. So funny. So now you mentioned Down and Out. I'm assuming you love this song?
This is an interesting one. So it's long.
Yeah.
It's almost like, for me, it's like 2 or 3 songs, multiple songs in one. So you kind of start off with a lighter beginning. Like the start is kind of lighter, a little bit more down-tuned a bit. And then a few minutes in, the song starts to pick up. It's got kind of, for me, this is where it's kind of, and I like the fact it's different because I wouldn't want every song to be a big thrashy song. This more has an alternative sound to me.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, like more of, like there's another song on here that I even bring up, Soundgarden's Black Hole Sun. But this song has more of an alternative sound to me. But then it goes like into a cool metal chug. Then all of a sudden, at 3:50, the song speeds up to more of a thrash vibe.
Yep.
It's got a fast solo, and it uses a really groovy bass line And it's almost like it's coming at you from 2 or 3 different angles, which
That's
is
right.
kind of cool. It's not my favorite song on the album because it's a bit experimental, but I think it's pretty cool how he did it and he constructed it, and it's not replicated in the first 5 songs. So
No, it's a bit different, and
yeah,
he tempers his voice here a little bit,
yeah,
trying to give you a little bit of variety, especially with the opening. Funny you mentioned Soundgarden. This almost has a bit of Soundgarden to me.
yeah.
With the beginning bit with the acoustic kind of slow opening, I got a little bit of a Soundgarden vibe here for me. So I could see where they were, even though they're making a thrash metal album, they are kind of aware of what's going on in the music scene at the time.
Right.
When stuff like Soundgarden was kind of huge at this point in time. So I could see that. But yeah, I think it's a good song. I don't know if it's one of my favorites, but
No.
I do like the fact that they decided to do something a little bit slightly off
Yeah.
from the previous 5. But he's got some high vocals here on this one as well. But I just noticed he kind of tempers them a little bit as he goes along.
Yeah.
But it's good. So what do you think of track 7, Rest in Peace?
Yeah, this is a good one. I think it's a more traditional thrash sound. This actually has a pretty good solo in it for me.
Yes.
And it's got a really big catchy chorus. This reminds me of like a song like NFL off of Anthrax, where it's not as fast or as heavy, but it's got that catchy chorus that you can sing along to it. So I think that this one here definitely hits that. It's definitely got a darker chug to it, so I really like that as well. But yeah, it's a great song. So we leave 6 where it's a little bit experimental, but we don't keep going with that experiment. And there's another song coming up where it'll be very similar to that alternative sound again, but this one here, it's back to more of the traditional thrash vibe for me.
Yeah, well, this also, like, you can tell what he's singing. Like, he's basically telling his band, "Rest in peace. I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm doing my thing now. So fuck you guys." It's kind of how I interpret the song.
Yeah.
Which is interesting. So I mean, it's like a one note on this album. It's like, oh, I hate you guys. I'm better than you guys, kind of thing. But I agree with you. This song is actually pretty decent. Like, you got that slower melody at the start of it, then it picks up, and you get that really heavy chug. And the vocals are really meaty here too. It's like he can sing high, but he adds a little bit of depth with the vocals, so it gets a meatier on it. And the chorus is fantastic. I love the chorus here. It's a great chorus. So we'll go to Last Call, track number 8. And what do you think of Last Call?
One of my favorites. So this is another standout track. So out of the 5, this is, I think I'm on number 3 now.
Okay.
Or 5, yeah. So this is one of my favorites. And the reason why, I think it's just got that fast, thrashy chug. And the vocals, his vocals on this I like the vocals in Down and Out. I like his lower register and then his higher. I love it how he shows off on this album.
Yes.
How versatile his vocal ability are, because he gets criticized for just doing kind of one, and we've even talked about it on the Anthrax albums. Yeah, like he gets kind of typecasted, I guess you could say, where he's this type of singer. But I love the fact that he goes from a kind of a lower register on Down and Out, and then here he's back to some great higher vocals. And A Last Call is just a really good slamming track for what I like.
I think he's a victim of his own success, though. Like,
yeah.
You're right what you just said about the high notes, because if you listen to Among the Living, it's all high notes.
Yeah.
He can reach them, but it also, in some ways, I can see where it didn't help him in the long run, because everyone's like, oh, he's Joey, he's got the high notes, but the guy can do a lot more than just that.
Oh, yeah.
I think this album is proof that he could show his ex-bandmates that, look, I can sing high, I can sing the lower notes, I can add a little heft to the song. I can do a lot of things that you don't give me credit for. And it's unfortunate, but you get it in this song for sure. Last Call is a really, really heavy song. And really heavy. It's got that thrashy chug to it. And the song, from my interpretation, is that it's all about dealing with addiction. I think the rumor is, I remember Scott saying once that he was heavily into drinking and on drugs, but I don't know how true that is. It doesn't seem like him, but that's one of the.
I've never really heard that. Like, I get it.
I've heard it mentioned a few times.
Oh, okay. Because I get it. If you're kicked out of a band, you probably aren't in the best place, like especially a band like Anthrax,
exactly.
one of the big
you did
four.
something that they don't like,
Yeah. So,
But I don't know. That's what I've heard. But the song is kind of about drug addiction, and he's trying to get off it and stuff like that. I think it's pretty good. I like how he sings the throughout it. It's before you get to the chorus, and it's like, okay, he's here. I think he's showing off a little bit. I think slightly. Like he's trying to show his bandmates, look, I can do it. I can do what you don't think I can do. Blah, 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 blah. But yeah, the Last Call is a pretty good song. And again, it's a collaboration between Joey and Paul Crook. So they pretty much got a stamp on this album with this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
So what about track 9, Nothing to Hide?
Yeah, this one's got a really bluesy vibe for me. It's more darker vocals. So again, he's dropping his register down on most of this song with his vocal ability, and the bass just matches it. So it's not really an alternative sound compared to the one that's going to be coming up. But it's I think it's a cool song, and like I say, I love the bass line in this song. Actually, I like it throughout the whole album, but this song is definitely a bass track in my mind.
Yeah, I can see that. The tempo is interesting in this one. I mean, there's a slight groove. I could see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I like the heavy chug. The solo is actually okay. I don't mind the solo here. It's not the best, but it's decent. Yeah. And it's all, like he's basically singing like, trust in me, I got nothing to hide. And it's almost like he's trying to validate himself, like as a person, hey, I'm a good person. I can do this like anyone else can. It's cool. It's got some good vibes to it. I don't mind the song as well. I think it's a solid song. So track 10, Taken by Force. What do you think?
Yeah, this is the other one that I was talking about where it's an experimental track for me. I find it's kind of a neat take on it. So this is the one where I get sort of the beginning of the song is more of a Soundgarden's kind of Black Hole Sun, but not the vocals. The vocals are definitely different, but I get sort of that plodding kind of feel to it because I love Soundgarden, Black Hole Sun's been overplayed in my mind, but it still has that it's kind of a plodding song. It just kind of goes at its own pace. But what's neat about this song is that it's got a really good catchy chorus, and then at 3 minutes the song speeds up. And then it kind of goes at 3:57. It kind of goes back. So for about a minute, you get like into a kind of a more of a traditional thrash sound. So again, this is like could be part 2 of Down and Out for me, where it's he's kind of taking a nod to the times. Maybe what this album came out in 95.
95, yeah.
Yeah, 95. So you're right in the meat of. We were probably even starting to head down that where the alternative movement was kind of, grunge was starting to go away, thank God. But some of it I do like. I'm only kidding. But take this here definitely, and song 6 are definitely, I think, a nod to the time. But he can't. What I love about it is he doesn't just abandon his thrash roots or anything. He still puts a stamp in there saying, okay, but just remember, I'm still putting out a heavy album here. So it's pretty good. But the beginning of it, I like how it plods in kind of like Black Hole Sun. It's got that feel for me.
Yeah, it had I noted like a doomy. It had a very slow doomy beginning. I also felt there was a little bit of a Pantera-ish quite vibe to it. I could feel that. But by 1995, Pantera was one of the biggest bands on the planet, so it kind of makes sense when you think about it. I like this song a lot too. I like how he starts it with all the it's kind of interesting. It's like, okay, I can use my voice like a fifth instrument here. So it's kind of neat how he does that in the song itself. But I think the chorus is really, really good. It's one of my favorite choruses on this album for me. And lyrically, it's all about a metaphor. He's talking about reclaiming control over his life and how it's like the idea that you're overburdened in a situation where you're overpowered, and in this case, he's regained that control, which that's good. So maybe it's kind of more of a positive to it, I think, in my mind. And which is good because every song could be somewhat depressing the way you look at it.
Yeah.
And I remember reading some of the. I was looking at YouTube, and some people were saying, "Oh, this is a totally depressing album." I'm like, I don't know about that.
I think he's telling a bit of a story, definitely,
Yes.
and it's a depressing story. But I think he, not knowing in 1995 what was going to happen, listening to it now in 2026, you know what happened. So
Yeah.
it kind of he did this, and now he's back. So
now he's back. Yeah, it was the irony.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you
and
got
it was
rid
even
of
earlier than 2026. I'm just saying,
I know.
like listening to it now, like they obviously after how many albums did they have with Bush? 4.
4, yeah, 1,
Yeah.
2, yeah, 4, and the re-recording of the classics.
That's right. So it took them that many albums, that many years to realize, okay, we're not selling. And yes, some of it's a sign of the times. A lot of bands weren't selling a lot of stuff then, but now it's argumentative. Metallica was still selling lots of albums. Slayer was. So, took them that many times, that many, he kind of, in my mind, he won. So,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
This album is proof that he won that. Because I was reading that online too. People were saying this is so much better than any of the crap they did in the 90s.
Yeah.
And I would agree.
Yeah.
I would agree. Totally agree. All right, so let's move on to track 11, which is Engine. What's your thoughts?
One of my favorites. This is another
you like this
top one. This one and the next one are kick-ass. Like, I love this is just a great thrash song, and I love it. This would have been something that could have fit on anything from Among the Living up, as far as I'm concerned, when Among the Living to Persistence of Time. It makes me wonder if he had this written and they just didn't want to use it or something, because it would have fit in perfectly. Even on State of Euphoria, when they were doing that whole, the whole Bermuda Shorts thing, I think this would have fit in there. Because and then they had Indians on the first album, so I think it kind of worked out. It's definitely kind of cool. But yeah, I mean, it's got a great chug. It's a heavy song. It's got a really good beat to it, and it's pretty catchy. I think it's pretty catchy. It's a great thrash song. I just think it's one of my favorites on the album. Top half of the album for me, top 5.
Yeah, I had written in all my notes too that it was like a hard hitting thrasher.
Yeah.
And also the lyrics are very serious, right? Because it's kind of like a protest song because he's talking about genocide, the betrayal and the cultural erasure of that's happened to Native Americans.
Yeah,
it's all taken from his personal experience because he's like part Iroquois.
That's right.
I think he's part Iroquois.
Yep.
So I mean, it's a personal thing to him. So the song should have some weight to it, and it should be serious because it's something that he relates to. And I like this song because it's not about the band. It's not about how he hates everybody. It's actually a personal song to him, which is nice because on this album, majority of the songs are attack against Anthrax. So here you get one song that actually kind of fits him as a person. So
whether it's depressing or not, I think this is it's meaningful to him. I agree with you 100%. I think it's we can bash Anthrax over and over again, but we don't really need to do that all the time. So it's a great break from the sort of theme of the album, and I think it's pretty poignant from his point of view. I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it's poignant for sure.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's nice.
Do you think any of these songs he had these written like when he was in Anthrax? What do you know any of that or no?
I haven't read anything about. I was reading up on some of the where he was in life and where he got to this album.
Right.
But I didn't get any of the I had these ideas in mind kind of thing.
Yeah.
Even when I was in Anthrax, I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think so, but you're right. This is like a good follow-up from Indians.
Oh yeah, I mean, they made Indians into more of a catchy. Who wrote that? That would have been Charlie.
I think Scott wrote.
Scott wrote it. So Charlie writes the music, correct?
Yeah, Charlie writes the music. Scott writes the lyrics.
The lyrics, yeah. So I found Indians was made still very strong theme, obviously a very serious theme, but made a little bit more digestible, I guess, for people to sing it. I mean, it's a crowd pleaser, when he yells "War Dance" and the place goes nuts. I mean, it just puts it's an awesome song. So for me, I think this one's just taking that seriousness a lot more serious. So, but I think it's still a great song. It'd be a cool song to see live.
Oh, I agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree. I could see this song being on Persistence for some reason.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I think it could easily slot on that album. No
I
problem.
only say State of Euphoria because State of Euphoria was the album right after Among the Living. However, I don't think it fits in with the jive of that album because that album's more of a kind of a crazy time. Great, I love State of Euphoria, but I just find it probably wouldn't fit in necessarily with that. But anyways, I agree.
Yeah.
Could be on Persistence of Time.
Yeah, I just because in that album they did write about the injustice about what was going on in the world and stuff and some songs. So it kind of fits that theme, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, you're right. It's a damn good song. So number 12, Mixed Emotions. What's your thoughts?
Number one song for me as well. These
cool.
are like, I mean, I always talk about 10 songs on an album every podcast. This has 13, but I think this album, and I'm going to go against what I've said all along. I think this album had to have 13 songs on it because I think for him to tell a story, the way he's feeling, and for him to say, hey, I've got this material, I think it's great that he put that many songs on it. So, and I think it had to because, I think because there's nothing I would really take off. Like there's not a song that I dislike where I would say, oh no, that doesn't need to be there or anything like that. But yeah, this is a number one for me. It's a really groovy song, totally catchy, probably one of the catchiest songs on the album. I just love it. I think it's really, really good. And when you Google so when you go on Joey Belladonna, it comes up that he's a rock singer and for his solo stuff, but I don't find this album. No, there's no. It's heavy metal to thrash for me. It's not.
Thrash,
there's not any rock on it. So
no.
I mean, heavy metal technically is got elements of rock music, but I don't think this is like a rock. Like none of these are rock hits or anything. So I'm not quite sure. I think maybe it's just put on there in that sort of category. But yeah, this is another great song. One of my favorites on the album. So catchy. This, I mean, I've said it on the last song. I'd love to see this song live, and I think Anthrax would do a good job with it.
I think they would. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I think it would be a good song live. Yeah, he actually co-wrote this with Darren Scott. So
okay,
one of the few songs that Paul Crook wasn't involved in the songwriting portion of it. So, but you're right. Like the groove, it's got some heavy groove in it. And it's got a good chorus. I agree. I like how he sings that chorus really well.
Yeah,
emotions playing with your mind. It's kind of interesting, and like it's got a certain feel to it for me. Like he's feeling used, he's feeling manipulated. He's being mentally pulled in different directions. So I think the song captures the frustrations of realizing that someone's been playing with his mind the whole time. So you're right. So it's actually a smart song. I don't know if it's my favorite song here, but it's close. It's close. Yeah. I do like it. I'm kind of really like some of the earlier ones, like Rob You Blind and Power Trip and Two Faced. Like there's a lot, but there's not really a bad song on this album. Every song is good in its own way and catchy, and it works. So the last song, 1900, is interesting. I was looking it up. I was trying to figure out what the song was about. What do you think?
I think it's cool. I think it's got a total Anthrax sound. I think it's got great vocals. And this is a guitar-driven track, but it's pretty melodic. I find it's pretty melodic at times. I think it's a great way to end off the album. Like I say, Mixed Emotions for me would have been, or Engine would have been perfect to end it off, but this doesn't detract from the album for me. So even though it's not one of my favorites on here, I think it's a decent track, and I really like it. It's fine ending off the album here. And again, like I usually like my limit at 10, and then I can rate it. 7 songs are great, 7 out of 10. But I don't find this album super long in the tooth either. I think it's a great timing, and a lot of the songs are under 4.5 minutes. But yeah, I think it's a great way to end off the album. I like it.
It's funny, like the album clocks in about 51 minutes.
Yeah,
but it doesn't feel long though.
No.
And I think the songs are tempered just right. Like you say, average of 3 to 5 minutes per song.
Yeah.
And I think the longest song in this album is actually Taken by Force.
By Force, yeah.
6 minutes and 32 seconds long. And even that's great for that length.
Yeah.
Well, you're right. Yeah, on average, every song is between 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah.
It's fine, and it works. It works for the length of the songs, I think. Now, I was thinking about the lyrics here, so I kind of think it's like it's a 1-900. My interpretation is he's waiting for a phone call from a friend who kind of betrayed him. That's sort of how I look at it. So I don't know if it's like he's waiting for a phone call from Anthrax, the band, but he's like, yeah, that call is going to come someday. So it's kind of it's an interesting way to end the album. It's like, what are you saying, that they're actually going to call you back? Are you waiting to rejoin the band? I don't know. It's just my interpretation. I'm sure everybody has a different thought of what it means.
Yeah.
But I think acoustically it's great. It's got that. It has a nice closing with the acoustics, and even at the beginning. Again, it's co-written between Joey and Paul, so it's kind of interesting. But I like it too. I think it ends the album off on a good note.
Mm-hmm.
My mind.
I like. This is such a great album that it's like one of those hidden gems that you can easily skip over. And when me and you started kind of hanging out online with doing the stuff for some of the groups we were writing for, I'll be honest, I didn't have any of this stuff. So I've been seeking it out since then. And I didn't really even listen. I heard about it, but I never really listened to it. And then now getting more into it, I'm going to track down the Artifacts CDs because they they look like they're the same from the first two albums, and then just intermixed with some
3 new songs. There's 3 songs that they didn't. I guess they were going to record, but they didn't. Yeah. They're unreleased tracks. They're all good. They're all pretty good songs.
So I'm going to listen to it. I already listened to it on Apple Music.
Oh, you did? Okay, cool.
Yeah, really musically superior. Yeah.
I just think there's a difference with Paul playing on the guitar. For me, I find it sonically a lot more interesting. But not that I'm saying this guy Scott's a bad guitarist,
but see, I'd love for them. It would be really cool too. I know they would never do this because then these, like you say, they'd have to admit they were wrong. But I'd love for them to add one of these songs to a new album as a bonus track, even just like, and you got it there, and oh wow, this is from there, and kind of shed a little light onto his solo stuff. But I know they would never do that.
No, it would mean that Scott was wrong all along.
Yeah.
And I know I don't
cool, and I think Anthrax. I mean, I know Anthrax fans like because they're your favorite band. So anybody whose favorite band is Anthrax, they know all the offshoots from where everybody's from and what everybody's done. I get that, but I think the casual heavy metal guy who loves thrash metal, who just has Anthrax is one of the many bands they like. They really should check these albums out. I think it would be they do themselves a big service for sure.
I just find it funny that, to me, like nobody knows Paul Crook that much. I mean, he's associated with Anthrax and now with Joey, but I just think it's funny that it's like, oh, Joey actually used him before they did, because I know he didn't start showing up until Stomp 442. Yeah, wasn't that 2000? What was that? Was that 1995 as well? I can't remember.
I think it was,
when that came out, because that's when he first started playing.
95, yep.
Yeah, so about the same time, he was also contributing solos and stuff, because they didn't replace Dan Spitz, right?
Yeah,
they went with as a foursome. So I find it fun. I just find it funny how both are utilizing specific players. It's just funny. Yeah. And it's funny because Paul went on to play in a couple. He played in Metal Church.
Okay, yeah, that's right.
He also played a little bit in Sebastian Bach.
Oh, yeah.
He went on to there. So he's had some success elsewhere, but I don't know. I just find it kind of funny. It's like,
just side note on Sebastian Bach. I don't know if you saw this, but this was just released on Friday. They did a Rainbow covers album.
Oh, no, I didn't see that.
Yeah, it was released. I'm going to be honest with you. I must have fell asleep on this one because it was, where is it here? It came up on my stream here. And Sebastian Bach actually does a song on there. And I actually listened to it. And it wasn't that, what's the name of the album here? It's got a lot of great players on it. I don't know how, so it's called Ride the Rainbow. And it's got this really cool cover. Check it out. It's got the rainbow and it's got a skull with a hand over it. And it's Ride the Rainbow, the ultimate tribute to Ritchie Blackmore's Rainbow.
Ooh, cool.
And he does Man on the Silver Mountain, Sebastian Bach, Doug Aldrich, Mick Box, Jonathan Cain, Bob Daisley, and Carmen Appice. And like Stargazers done by Ronnie Romero. And they do some really good there's Graham Bonnet's on there. Mark Lopes, who was I think he did the one album there with Metal Church 2 albums ago, and then he's from Ross the Boss. He did, or not Ross maybe Ross the Boss from Manowar. He does Kill the King, a wicked, and like there's Tim Ripper Owens does Doogie White does Catch the Rainbow. Vivian Campbell does Stone Cold with Joe Lynn Turner. There's some. Check it out. It's actually really
I'll
good.
take a look at that.
Yeah, and I'm not a big Sebastian Bach fan. And I was like, okay, here we go. He's gonna kill Man on the Silver Mountain, one of my favorite songs. And I did a really good job. And I didn't even know this was coming out, so it's kind of cool. Check it out.
I've seen Sebastian Bach live so many times.
Yeah.
Because my wife is a huge fan, so that's one of her skid. She loves Skid Row and she loves Sebastian Bach. So I've gone to so many shows. It's like he's actually a pretty decent performer.
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. I love Slave to the Grind is a wicked album.
Yeah,
I love it better than the debut. I don't know. I just find he's always in the news for the wrong things, and that's just me typecasting him. I guess he's always fighting with somebody,
or his ex-wife, or whatever. Yeah. And now he's part of that whole Twisted Sister thing, and
I mean he is a talented singer, and I got to be honest. I listened to Man on the Silver Mountain. I was like, this is actually pretty good. I wanted to go in hating it, and I couldn't. Yeah.
He just they just played Casino Rama here.
Okay.
Sebastian Bach and Slaughter.
Yes.
I had a couple of friends who went and saw it, and they had a really good time.
Yeah, that's cool.
I didn't think Slaughter was still playing.
Yeah.
But I probably wouldn't mind seeing Slaughter.
Yeah, Slaughter's pretty good. I don't know how many original, I don't know. It's you go for that just to hear the songs,
Yeah, of course. Yeah. You're not going to get all the original members.
No, you're going to.
I don't even think they are. I think it's a couple of guys left from the original lineup.
Yeah, but I got to give it a thumbs up there with that. But anyways, no. I mean, this album is wicked. People need to check it out, and I think it's underrated by far. So,
absolutely, totally good. It deserves to be heard, in my opinion.
And I love Joey doing Journey.
Yeah.
I think he does a great job. There's nothing wrong with that. I think it's pretty cool. I like Journey. I like the hits, and I love the fact he can pull it off flawlessly.
Did you have the Anthrax Anthem album where they did all the covers?
No, I don't have that.
That's pretty good. You should get that. Yeah. You should look that up. They do a lot of. I guess they did a lot of songs. Well, I think they did Boston. Yeah, they did Journey. It's a lot of songs you wouldn't normally think Anthrax would do, but I guess they had Joey back in the band, so they had to appease him, right? You had to. Cool. Yeah. Look it up. It's actually a pretty. I like it. It's a pretty decent album. It's it's Anthrax playing arena rock songs from the 70s and early 80s.
Okay.
And it's this is kind of cool. I'm just going to look it up here since we're talking.
It's called Anthems. Yes, I see it here.
It's called Anthems.
Oh, you've got TNT, Keep on Running, Jailbreak.
Yes.
Wow, some AC/DC. No, that's cool.
Yeah, it's actually pretty good. You should give it a go.
Yeah.
I like it. When I saw it, I was like, what? They're going to cover these songs? But to me, it's actually pretty damn good, and Joey's great on it. He's I think it was kind of cool that they appeased his, his interest in other kind of more rock related music.
Yeah.
As opposed to just singing thrash metal. But yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, yeah, you should look it up. It came out in 2013.
13. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's pretty good.
Cool.
I was like, okay, you're
That'll be
gonna.
my afternoon sitting outside with a cold one because it's beautiful out. I'll relax listening to this.
Yeah, give it a go. I'd like to hear your opinion on it.
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
like to hear what you think about it because you're an Anthrax fan. So
Yeah.
it's an unusual kind of release for the band, but
So when's the next single dropping for Anthrax?
I'm hearing next month.
Oh, perfect.
That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Sometime in July.
Great.
Could be wrong. And then maybe there might be. I heard originally three, so one. So there might be one July, and then one maybe coming out at the end of August. I don't know.
So are they being tight with the promos?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not. I mean, Charlie's not saying much about it. I know he said three. That's what I heard originally.
Yeah. No, that's kind of what I want. I don't want. When's it out? September 18th?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what I want is like it would make sense having one in July, one in August, and then bam, the album comes out in September. So
yeah, I think that's what Testament did. I think they had what 2 tracks out before they. Or was it 4?
3, I think. Yeah, I can't remember.
I'm not a fan of 4. I don't like that idea.
No, I find you get a third of the album or half the album out before you even listen to it. It's like, okay, then it's kind of, it's not very, it's a little anticlimactic to to get the album. You've already heard 5 or 6 songs.
I agree. All right, so let's get to our musical recommendations portion of the show. This one's pretty simple. I always just you listen to Sound of White Noise, and I think what I was asking you is, what song on that album would Joey be perfect to sing?
Oh, Potter's Field.
Oh, you like Potter's Field? Okay,
yeah,
interesting.
I mean, Only is like one of my favorite Anthrax songs, but I think I don't know. I just think Potter's Field. Although, like Room for One More, he could probably do that.
That's my choice.
Yeah, like. Yeah. I think he could light that album up. In fact, that's a great idea. You should pitch that to Anthrax and say, what you should do? Just go in and re-record it and just re-record it with Joey's vocals. Not a slight against Bush, John at all, because, the album is just such a massive part of their history. Yeah, I think it would be cool to hear Joey's take on every tune on that album. But Room for One More, Potter's Field, I think... you could do that, no problem. I love the fact, and I wonder. I know they're all fans of music and they're all fans of rock music, all the members of Anthrax. But I wonder if Joey brought in because they covered my favorite covers on that album, the Cowboy song by Thin Lizzy. I'm wondering if
that's great. I love that song.
Yeah. They do such a good job of it, and I love Thin Lizzy, huge Thin Lizzy fan. So for me, it was really cool. And I know when I bought my CD at Sam the Record Man, you got the CD single for free as part of a package. And I wonder if he had any, before he left the band, they coming up, I wonder if the covers version of why they do so many covers like this is partly because of Joey can actually sing a lot of it. I know he didn't sing that was Bush, but still I thought it was a really good cover. But yeah, Room for One More is another one. If that's your pick, absolutely right.
Yeah, that's my favorite song on that album. So I'd love to hear that. And Potter's Field, you're right. I didn't think about Potter's Field till you mentioned it. I was like, yeah, I could see him singing that song.
But even High Pro Glow, something and that I think you could see him. I just would like it to be re-recorded, not as but then again, he'd be slighting John, and I don't think, to be honest with you, for the first, John's doing. That's part of his Armored Saints sets. He's doing I think he was doing the album in its entirety, I believe.
Yes, he was going to sing it. Yeah.
So he was doing half the set, 2.5 hours. This guy works his ass off. So he's doing, a set of the Armored Saint stuff, and then boom, you get the Sound of White Noise in its entirety. I think that's so cool, and that would make me. I would even love Anthrax to go on tour and bring him along to do some of the songs. I think
he proposed that to them. He's actually proposed that. So I don't think the band would do it. Because I don't know, because they're trying to do their own thing, and after being away for 10 years,
Yeah,
you want to have an album cycle where you're showing you're playing the album live and stuff.
true. And I just think it's really cool, though. I think it would be a neat. I love the fact that Halloween has got three singers essentially.
Yeah, but that works for those guys.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool. But I think, I think there would be too. It would be too hard to pull off with Anthrax. But I think it's cool that John's doing it on the side. He's obviously isolated the fact that there's a lot of Bush Thrax fans out there that want to hear these songs that never get played live anymore by Anthrax. So,
well, what's funny? I mean, when Bruce came back to Iron Maiden, he was singing Blaze Bailey songs. So why I don't understand why they couldn't let.
And he sings the Di'Anno songs. He has to. The first two Di'Anno albums, were such big parts of Iron Maiden's history. He has to sing Wrathchild. Running Free. So
I love hearing Bruce sing those songs to me.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I love the first two albums, but it's great to hear Bruce sing.
I know you do. I do too. I've been listening to them a lot this weekend. Funny thing, because I really they brought out that AI video. I don't know if you saw it.
Well, I saw that. Yeah, I saw that.
It got a lot of hate online, but I got to be honest with you, I thought it was kind of cool.
It was all right. I mean, you know what it is. I mean,
as long as you know what it is. As long as you know what it is. I mean, it was kind of fun. He's driving his pickup truck. He's out of money.
I thought it was okay too. I unlike yourself, I didn't mind it. I knew what it was, but it's like, oh, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
You just appreciate it for what it is, and you move on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. So maybe, who knows? Maybe down the road they'll play some of this earlier stuff.
Hopefully, yeah.
All right, so let's get into the hot take portion, the last part, and that's the parting shot, and of course the comparison between Sound of White Noise and Belladonna. Go for it, Jim. Let's hear your thoughts.
It's hard. So this is hard because I'm such a John Bush fan with Armored Saint. I'm going to speak just physically on Anthrax. The Sound of White Noise is one of my favorite Anthrax albums, but the albums that ensued afterwards, oh man, I have a hard time. I pick maybe 2 or 3 tracks off of them. So in saying that, I think this album fits for me more of being a traditional Anthrax fan. I think this album for me is better, but I think that it's, if you were saying, so I'll isolate it, not necessarily with just Sound of White Noise, because that was a high point for me, but the whole Bush Thrax sort of era, definitely this album's better. I mean, it for me, and that includes all the Bush Thrax albums. But Sound of White Noise is one of my favorites. I like it for so many different reasons. Part of it is the fact that I was such a huge Anthrax fan coming out of Persistence of Time. Saw them for the first time on that tour, opening for Iron Maiden. So I had a really, I was loving Anthrax and just coming out into the 90s that way. But I will be honest, when I bought this album and they didn't have Joey, there was a disappointment there. But I thought they pulled it off pretty good. So I'm going to say this album here fits for me more so than the John Bush era. And I know a lot of people will be like, but I do love Sound of White Noise, and I'm a huge, just in defense, I'm a huge John Bush fan. That guy I bought everything his Category 7 stuff. Yeah. I remember you bought that, yeah. So I can say that with a clear conscience.
Well, what do you think has more staying power now? Like, if listening to them both, which one is the best?
I think this does.
Yes.
I think the new Anthrax album is going to have more staying power because this is what people want. People. Yeah. I don't think people didn't want it. It's just towards the end of the Bush Thrax. You're getting towards the end of it there. Like, and the next album after this was what? Stomp 442 and 95, and then you're like, and then this album, it just wasn't very good. And Volume 8 was worse.
And We've Come for You All is not even a thrash. It's like a rock.
It's like a rock album.
Yeah, so it's not even anything like that.
When they got rid of, I heard so many things about, they got rid of Joey because it wasn't his style of music, but then they go into this direction where, and I mean, it was a weird time for everybody, but I think this album, if this album got a full-on, somebody picked it up, Megaforce picked it up or something, re-released it as like here, and maybe with one of the artifacts thrown in, like Artifacts 3, I think it is. That's one of my favorite. Which Artifacts 1 was I listening to that I really liked?
Artifacts 1, Artifacts 2.
Yeah, 2 I really liked. I mean, they both were great.
I like that one.
Yeah, so I think if they packaged a deal like that, I think it would do extremely well. People would be like, "Whoa, what's this? Hey, this is Anthraxy," Like, I think it would get a lot of love. So for me, I think the new Anthrax album is going to have return to the staying power. But I think this is better than the Bush era, just from a staying true to a thrash metal. The second album, this one here, Spells of Fear, isn't as good as the first one.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. So, but I think it's. I just think this is an underground sort of under the radar album that people just need to really seek out and check out.
Absolutely, man. You said it all. That's exactly how I feel about it too. It's like this is a way better album. In my mind. And I'm seeing all the comments. People online are going, they kicked him out of the band and he puts this out. What is wrong with that band? I'm seeing. I mean, obviously these are probably a lot of younger people who are just getting into the music. Are seeing that, but. I mean, when they made that change, I was shocked. I mean, there wasn't a lot of magazines that I was reading. There was no internet back then. So I remember Meat Magazine in Canada. They had this big article about, oh, Joey's gone. What? Joey's gone. What's going on? Yeah. So I went to the tour. I saw this tour. I was there. I saw it live, and I had a good time. I mean, I didn't mind it. I got like you. When this album, because I'm an Anthrax fan, I got into this album a lot too. I loved this album when it came out. All the songs were great. I didn't mind John Bush as the new vocalist. He didn't certainly wasn't Joey, but I mean, I remember. I mean, I think it helps when you remember Armored Saint. I love Armored Saint, so it's like, oh, okay, the Armored Saint guy's taking over. Okay, that's cool. And it was all right. I mean, I listened to this album to death when it came out. I listened to it nonstop when it came out. So I mean, I like it too. But in hindsight, now going back to this, I think this is still a better album.
Yeah, much way
better album.
But what's interesting on the Apple Music? So obviously, as much as I will buy a lot of physical merchandise like the albums and CDs and stuff, I obviously have to I have Apple Music to listen to stuff that I can't get on albums and stuff, but they have this thing called Essential Albums for Anthrax, and they've got it's funny, they've got Fistful of Metal, Spreading the Disease, Among the Living, and State of Euphoria, and then that's it. And I'm like, okay, Persistence of Time should be there, and I think maybe even this. I mean, this was for I don't know if this is based on Essential Album of their people listening. Maybe it could be where they've got so many streams and they put it on there as an essential album, or if the band has any say in like, well, we don't want this on there, that sort of thing. Kind of weird.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about Spotify. I don't really use. I used to listen to Spotify, but I got annoyed with it. And I actually prefer YouTube, to be honest.
Yeah, no, YouTube's way better because you at least get. At least you can find what exactly you want,
Well, that's what I like about YouTube. You can virtually get anything on YouTube. Yeah. I have Spotify. I don't know. Not sometimes you can, sometimes you can't.
Yeah. Well, and Apple Music will change so they'll have like Saxon albums. They'll drop some of them. They're just not there, and then they bring them back in. It's weird.
Yeah, I don't know why they do that.
Yeah.
So strange. Anyway, so that'll cover our talk today on
Great.
Joe's first solo album. I'm glad you like it because I love it. I love it a lot. I just wish we would have. I don't know why I didn't think about this sooner. Like we should have covered this in May. But
yeah, it was Anthrax month.
Yeah, I know, but
that's okay. We can spill it over. We don't
Anthrax
care.
To me. Joey's the voice of the band. I don't care what anyone tells me.
Oh yeah, no, I agree.
I don't care what I know. There's John Bush lovers out there, and that's fine.
Yeah,
I don't hate the guy, but he's not Anthrax.
No,
he's not Anthrax in my mind. But anyways, All right, sir. So I don't know what we're doing next week. I guess we can discuss it later.
Sure.
Whatever you want to do, I'm up for it.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
So think about it. We're getting ready to get to 100. So
yeah,
that's getting to be a big time. We're getting
right.
there. So we got to plan out episode 100. I'm looking forward to that. I don't know what we'll do for that, but we'll have to come up with some ideas.
Cool. Yeah, we got to come up with something special.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Of course we do.
Yeah.
All right, sir. Well, I appreciate it. Thanks for doing this with me.
Yeah, no problem.
I know you're an Anthrax fan, so it's like you're the only person I would think of to talk about stuff like this. So
absolutely. Yeah.
All right, sir. So, all right, guys, take it easy. We'll be back next week with something. We don't know what, but we'll find out. And until then, take it easy.
Have a good one.
You bet. Have a great one.